They're the most unselfish people I know. And they're not wasting their time saying we're retired. You know, they're using that to use their profession to do something good somewhere else.
And they go about it in a very humble way.
Amazing people. As you can see, even just thinking about it, I get a bit emotional. There's no reward expected. They just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And what can you say about people like that? But wow.
I was born in Edmonton. Basically grew up in Calgary since 1941. When I was a boy, I used to look out our kitchen window, which was up on the hill, and down in the valley was Calgary General Hospital, and I always dreamed about being a doctor and working in that hospital. And I used to read books about Albert Schweitzer that sort of fascinated me, and his work in Lamborghini and West Africa. And then I heard about Norman Bethune, a Canadian, and the work that he did.
I was born in Kitchener, Ontario. In 1951, we moved out west to Edmonton. My mother was a nurse. When I was young, she often would take me on house calls that she did. My mother and father both were quite adamant about me not going to study to be a nurse, but taking something, an easier road, and that was pharmacy.
I was just looking for somebody to go out with and so on. So I just went through the yearbook and I came across her name and picture and gave her a call.
I had a boyfriend. I was going out with a fellow who was in engineering, and he got a summer job way up north. When Myron phoned me up, I thought he was a friend of my boyfriend. So that's why I accepted.
Obviously it went well because we kept on seeing each other.
I walked to university because I lived quite close, and every day I walked by the what used to be the William Aberhart TB Sanatorium. I remember every time I walked by it thinking there are lots of places in the world where TB is still prevalent, and I wonder if someday some knowledge that I might have through studying pharmacy might be able to help.
Well, we had discussed this even prior to being married, that eventually sometime in our lives going abroad and working. The idea was set, and the only question was when. And so we finally decided that the children are old enough that we could leave.
We go places where nobody else goes, places especially where people are desperate, destitute, unable to access proper healthcare services or education.
Burmese family physician had this little very poor clinic just inside Thailand, and she looked up at me with those big beautiful brown eyes and she said, you know, we've had quite a few people come around and visit us, and they all say they're going to come back, and none of them have. And that sort of grabbed me, thinking, you know, that's not going to be us. And I promised her we would come back again the following year, and we have come back every year ever since 1992. We haven't missed a single year. Eventually we were asked to do the same sort of thing on the other side of Burma, people fleeing into India. And we've expanded our work into Nepal, and a couple of years ago we started also in Sri Lanka. And besides that, we go to Ukraine every year in May, and we've been doing that since 1992.
Even though we may not give what we think is very much in the way of aid, even just giving a mother some vitamins, some antibiotics for her child's ear infection, a little toy, just the look on their face, that's what is most gratifying.
They have a common mission, and to that point they make such a great team, but I think they're also just a great example of how a couple can really kind of work together, can light it up, can be an example for the rest of us, as in having a common goal. They connect with so many people heart to heart, and yeah, it's just wonderful to be in their presence.